Welcome back to the Crafty Author. So we are finally going to sandwich our quilt, our scrap quilt, and get it ready for quilting. So this is how I do my quilts. I know a lot of people lay them out on the floor. They use tape to hold down the backing as they layer the pieces. Some people do it on their quilt wall. I'm pretty short, so I really can't do that because then I'm like, I hurt my shoulders. So I do it on this on my ironing table. I just remove all my ironing stuff onto the cutting table, and I just use this table to lay out my quilts. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you how I do it. And I'm sorry I can't get it any closer for you. What I use though are these clamps. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to lay our backing on this table. So that's what we're going to do. The backing that we just put together. And I want to make sure I've got this going the right way. I'm not certain that I do. Maybe this way's better. So I'm just going to kind of center this on here so that I can get that middle piece where it seems like it's centered pretty well onto my table. Smooth it out from the middle to the edge, to the edges. Okay, not stretching the fabric. I am kind of going with it and just smoothing it out so that I have no ripples or anything like that. Now, once I get this piece of it done and I get it all smooth, okay, then I take my clamps and I start clamping. So I'm going to clamp at this end. You want to be very careful when you do this because you can actually move the fabric again. So we don't want to do that. I'm going to clamp right there. And here. And then I usually use the smaller ones to reinforce. Okay. All right. So at this point, if you wanted to, you could use 505 basting spray. I don't use basting spray. I have in the past and I love it, but I'm out of it. So I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way, and I'm going to use safety pins on mine. Okay. So next, what we want to do is lay down the batting. So I went ahead and cut this big piece of batting, okay? And as you can see, I have cut way too big of a piece. That's okay. I will use the leftovers in another project, or I will use it for quilt sandwiches for when I practice my quilting skills. So you always have a use for stuff. So if you cut too much, don't worry about it. It'll be okay. All right. But you do want to make sure that you have enough batting for your quilt. And you could always measure it out, but I'm too lazy to do that, so I just cut and go with it, and then I eyeball it, and then I just use whatever's left over. I don't really worry too much about it. Quilting is very relaxing and stress-free for me, so I don't let little things get to me like that. Okay, so now I've got my batting on here. It's nice and smooth. I'm going to pull out my clamp, and I'm going to clamp the batting with the backing. now that it's flat. I'm going to go to the opposite side now, and I'm going to do the same thing. Making sure that everything is still nice and smooth. We're okay. Just the same. That one's done. Do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing on this. Now I'm going to grab the quilt. So I'm going to be out of focus here for a minute. I'm excited to get this quilt done because it is snowing here and it is freezing cold, and this is my new quilt for my couch for when I'm just watching TV or doing whatever. Okay, now's when you got to make sure that your quilt has enough backing to cover it. So I know I'm good on this side. And I may need to come up a little bit. Let's see if it hangs over enough. Okay, we're good there, we're good there. I know we're good over here. So our quilt is plenty fine. So we're just going to smooth it out. Okay. I'm just gonna keep smoothing it until we're perfectly flat on the table. And we look fantastic. So I'm gonna start at this end. And I'm going to clamp that down. We're going to do it on this end. And I'm still smoothing as I go, just in case. I'm going to put those on there gently, remember. All right. I keep my safety pins in this little Christmas. So, all I do, and I'm not going to do a whole tutorial on this, but I'm going to show you what I do with my safety pins. So I just go into each square and I pin all the layers together. I'm going to go into this square. And I know it's a square because I know that there's 4 squares across, so I'm just going to go in each one. I usually start in the middle, but I wanted you to see how I do this. So here's one in the middle. And this goes fairly quick, okay? And then I'll pop some on the borders. I'll pop probably about 3 or 4 of them along here just to hold my quilt into place because I don't want any of the layers to shift. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to finish pinning this up. And then I'm going to trim off all of this excess that I don't need. Thank you for joining me today on The Crafty Author. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have questions or comments, please leave them down below in the comment section. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Crafty Author. I have a Facebook group also called The Crafty Author if you'd like to join that. You can follow my blog, craftyauthor.com. And keep on crafting. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.